A computer network used by Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's campaign was hacked as part of a broad cyber attack on Democratic political organizations. The latest attack follows two other hacks on the Democratic National Committee, or DNC, and the party's fundraising committee for candidates for the U.S. House of Representatives. The involvement of the Justice Department's National Security Division is a sign that the Obama administration has concluded that the hacking was sponsored by a state. People with knowledge of the investigation said. Hackers whom U.S. intelligence officials have concluded were Russians gained access to the entire network of the fundraising Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, or DNCC, according to people familiar with the matter, detailing the extent of the breach to Reuters for the first time. Now, some fear that Russia may be trying to influence the presidential election. Hacked emails from Democratic National Committee were leaked last week. On the eve of the party's convention, the emails showed Democratic Party officials were biased against Bernie Sanders in his primary race against Mrs. Clinton. The hack led to the resignation of the party chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and sparked protests at the convention in Philadelphia. Meanwhile, the Kremlin says it had zero involvement in the hacking of Democratic Party emails, while U.S. officials say the hack originated in Russia. Now, seen through Kremlin eyes, Moscow would only be doing what it feels the U.S. has been doing to it for years anyway, according to authorities, interfering in a geopolitical rival's domestic politics in an attempt to destabilize and shape events. President Vladimir Putin said in February he had seen specific intelligence suggesting Russia's foreign enemies, code for Washington, were preparing to meddle in Russian parliamentary elections later this year. And then in 2011, Putin accused the U.S. State Department and Hillary Clinton, its then head, of stirring up street protests against his rule. Mark Gagliotti, senior research fellow at the Institute of International Relations, Prague, he said he believed another motive for the hack. If Russia was behind it, it would be to portray U.S. democracy as venal and chaotic, and so take the sting out of Western accusations that Russian elections are corrupt. Kremlin-backed media has tilted its coverage in favor of Trump over Clinton, and Putin has raised the Republican candidate as very talented. But Green said he thought what would matter most to Moscow would simply be to destabilize and to ensure that whoever won on November 8 emerged as a weak figure. Now, one of the most divisive U.S. campaigns in modern history is now entering a new chapter. Republicans and Democrats have both formally selected their nominees, and the candidates are slugging it out before Election Day on November 8. Now, Clinton followed her historic acceptance speech on Thursday as the first woman presidential nominee for a major party with a rally in Philadelphia before embarking on a bus tour of Rust Belt states, Pennsylvania, and Ohio.
But we've got work to do. I'm not satisfied with the status quo. I'm not telling you that everything is just peachy keen. I'm telling you we've made progress, but we have work to do if we're going to make sure everybody is included. Within the first 100 days of our administration, we're going to break through the gridlock in Washington and make the biggest investment in new, good-paying jobs since World War II.
Meanwhile, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump said in Colorado Springs that he's taking the gloves off after Democratic rival Hillary Clinton's speech at the Democratic National Convention.
Last night, I've been nice, but after watching that performance last night, such lies, I don't have to be so nice anymore. I'm taking the gloves off, right? Yes? Take the gloves off. Take the gloves. Right? Taking the gloves off. Just remember this, Trump is going to be no more Mr. Nice Guy. Tell Hillary I'm not going to be nice anymore. I've been very nice to her. I'm being recognized for having done one of the most legendary campaigns in the history of politics in this country. And And she puts in her thing right after the tweet. If somebody tweets, he gets upset. I get upset? I don't get upset. I didn't get upset. Somebody wrote that. You know, it was a nice little soundbite, right? They just announced I have over 22 million between Twitter and Facebook. 22 million people. That's like, I don't get upset. If somebody tweets, I do what I do. Who cares? I'll tell you, I think I have the best temperament, or certainly one of the best temperaments, of anybody that's ever run for the office of president, ever. Because I have a winning temperament, I know how to win. Because my whole life I've been winning. November 8th, go out and vote. Thank you. Thank you.
And so Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are trading insults at opposite ends of the country. Take a listen.
So we're starting today this bus tour. Now, this is the part of the campaign I really like. I mean, you know, the big events are fun, but I don't like wearing a tie that much. So I'd rather just go out and pound the pavement. And so we're starting a 3-day bus tour today. And this is the first rally.
Within the first 100 days of our administration, we're going to break through the gridlock in Washington and make the biggest investment in new, good-paying jobs since World War II.
At the Democratic Convention, a speech that just made history. Take a listen.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
And a barrage of criticism for Donald Trump and his policies.
Trump suits in Mexico, not Michigan. Trump furniture in Turkey, not Ohio. Trump picture frames in India, not Wisconsin. Donald Trump says he wants to make America great again. Well, he could start by actually making things in America again. So just ask yourself.
Meanwhile, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump lashes back.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press. Let's see if that happens. That'll be next. Yes, sir.
And Donald Trump has been unleashing a barrage of attacks also on Twitter.
Do you really think Donald Trump has the temperament to be commander-in-chief? A man you can bait with a tweet is not a man we can trust with nuclear weapons.
I'm being recognized for having done one of the most legendary campaigns in the history of politics in this country. And she puts in her thing right after the tweet. If somebody tweets, he gets upset. I get upset? I don't get upset. I didn't get upset. Somebody wrote that. You know, it was a nice little soundbite, right? They just announced I have over 22 million between Twitter and Facebook. 22 million people. That's like, I don't get upset. If somebody tweets, I do what I do. Who cares? I'll tell you, I think I have the best temperament, or certainly one of the best temperaments, of anybody that's ever run for the office of president. Ever. Because I have a winning temperament, I know how to win. Because my whole life I've been winning. Just remember this, Trump is going to be no more Mr. Nice Guy. Tell Hillary I'm not going to be nice anymore. I've been very nice to her.
Hillary Clinton was right when she called my son the best of America. If it was up to Donald Trump, he never would have been in America. Donald Trump consistently smears the character of Muslims. He disrespects other minorities, women, judges, even his own party leadership. He vows to build walls and ban us from this country. Donald Trump, you're asking Americans to trust you with their future. Let me ask you, have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
You know what? I wanted to hit a couple of those speakers so hard. I would have hit them. No. I was going to hit them, so I was all set. And then I got a call from a highly respected governor. How's it going, Donald? I said, well, it's going good, but they're really saying bad things about me. I'm going to hit them so hard. I was going to hit one guy in particular, a very little guy. I was going to hit this guy so hard his head would spin.